Today is a special day. Today is the 30th day in a row that I've consistently posted on this YouTube channel. So in regards to what you saw about my $10 million student goal for 2019, as well as this consistency of posting every day for 30 days, I have a special announcement and opportunity, which I'll be announcing towards the end of this video. But I'm gonna add a timestamp right here where you can go check it out if you wanna fast forward or whatever. But now let's actually focus on the value of this video, on how you can get from $0 to $350 per day online. Let's do it. So this right here is actually one of my students. Everybody starts somewhere. He started at 0 and now we are at this point and we're aiming for daily progression and profitability and consistency. So as you can see, only 2 orders. So this is a higher ticket item, which a lot of people ask about. But what would this do if you had the opportunity to make this much per day? And I think this is around $200 profit. What would you do? And just so you guys can actually see here, without showing too much, yesterday I spent $88.73 and the return 6.67. So obviously it's pretty good and it's profitable. And this student right here, we actually just started working together about 3 days ago, and look at that ROAS. Profitable overall, which is what we're aiming for. Now think about it, what if this was you? What would you do if you were making over $100 profit per day? What's going on, everybody? Tanner here with another video. Hope you're all having an amazing and productive day so far. So yes, this is a special day, and this is going to be a special video where I'm actually revealing to you one of my new strategies that I've been using here in 2019 over the past 30 days or so for testing products on Facebook ads. So there's a lot of different ways you can do it. There's never gonna be a perfect way. There's never gonna be a complete incorrect way. But what I'm gonna do here is show you the way that I've been able to minimize my risk as much as possible. You know, where I'm not spending a ton of money per product, testing it. I'm just spending what needs to be spent in order to see the result that I wanna see. So let's go ahead, hop onto my computer and make it happen. All right, so here we go, $0 to $350 per day within 5 days. So I'm gonna give you a whole timing strategy of how this all works. $350 per day is just a number I added in here. This number could be anything, depends on you, your situation, and multiple other variables, but I'm gonna give you this whole 5-day strategy that I've been using. So let's go ahead and get into it. You know, this is the normal product testing strategy that I'm sure you've heard of if you watched any other e-commerce video on how to test a product. You know, they're gonna tell you, all right, we're gonna create a single campaign, we're gonna optimize for page post engagement, and we're just gonna hope for the best. And then we're gonna create 10 random interest ad sets with no really proven data-backed interest and no planned budgets, which is a big thing we're gonna be getting into with my strategy. But you know, people are doing $5 a day, $20 a day, whatever, and then they're just using one single ad creative that they found on Facebook, Instagram, wherever, and they didn't even make their own. It still has someone else's logo on it, whatever. You know, that's how people normally test products, and that just doesn't work anymore. It used to be like that. It used to be simple, but it's not like that anymore. If you wanna really progress and stand out and make money, unlike most people, then you're gonna have to do things that most people don't do. And this is what most people do. So now, why does this not work? You know, why is this strategy not accurate or effective anymore? And that's because, one, you're paying for dead-end traffic. I've never understood the concept of optimizing for page post engagement. I always optimize for conversions, which we'll get into more detail in a second. But why would you pay for dead-end traffic? When you think about it, page post engagement is really just optimizing for Facebook to target people with your ad, for people that usually like and comment, share on a bunch of different Facebook posts. So Facebook's targeting these people that just click a bunch. They never buy anything, and that's why it's called dead-end traffic. Because people say they optimize for PPE to get data, but the data you're gonna be getting is gonna be dead-end traffic because they're people that just engage on a ton of posts. So you don't want that. And number 2, you're targeting general demographics. You're not targeting people that actually need to see your ad in order to buy. You're targeting people that, you know, really don't buy anything off of Facebook. You're targeting people that are just completely random and don't really relate to your product or niche of product, and you're wasting your money. And 3, you're using creatives with no spark. So your creatives have no spark whatsoever, and they're just boring, they're bland, they're taken from someone else. And when you use someone else's ad over and over and over, and people just keep stealing other people's ads, then it's not gonna be able to spark some kind of interest that people haven't seen before if you're targeting similarly to, you know, the other people that sold that product and use that exact same ad. So that is why this strategy does not work anymore. So now you're like, what actually does work? Which we're gonna get into right now, which is what I like to call the spark product testing strategy. So I call it the Spark strategy, all right? So it's the framework of it's essentially the same as to the original plan of testing products, but it's just more detail oriented, and it takes a lot more time and effort, but you're minimizing your risk so much that you're making that money back. That time you spent and effort doing all these different things, you're going to be able to make all that money back, in hopefully a short amount of time. Getting to that level from nothing to something is what everybody wants to achieve. And for me, this is what I've been able to see works best from scratch. From people that find a product, they're ready to test it. This is the strategy that I would go with. And if you do go with it, make sure you comment below. Let me know how it works. I would love to see, how I was able to benefit you with this video. But I go with one single campaign, just to start off, and I always optimize for conversions because I want sales. I do not want dead end traffic. I want people that will actually buy from my store. So that is why I am optimizing for conversions and purchases right off the bat. A lot of people seem to question it, but it's pretty obvious to me. If you want likes and comments on your post, you're going to get it either way, optimizing for conversions or page post engagement. And now the next step is the actual ad sets within that specific campaign. So I always go with 10 data-backed interest ad sets. So let's say, for example, I'm selling a laptop. I'm not just going to target technology because technology is such a big, broad field of people that really the demographic you're targeting isn't going to be people that are going to buy. Maybe there's a few people within that audience that will buy, but it's going to take a lot of ad spend because you're not targeting specific demographics that are actually confined of people that are specifically interested in something that relates directly to your product. So how would you find a data-backed interest? When I talk about finding a data-backed interest, I'm talking about using the audience insights resource on their Facebook's ads manager, or what I like to do is separate actions and brands. So when I talk about actions, let's say if I'm selling a laptop, I'm going to target people that like watching videos. And then as far as brands, I'm going to go look at what are the top laptop brands out there. And then I'm going to target those people that are interested in those laptop brands, because then obviously if they bought a laptop or they're interested in this laptop brand, if I offer something unique and give them something that they don't have already or something they haven't seen before, then they're most likely going to bite on that, whether it's just clicking on the link or actually buying the specific product. So now when I'm talking about strategized budgets, I see a lot of people don't actually utilize this, but it's actually very, very important. Now I've been using this recently, and what I've seen is if you base your budget, your daily budget upon your break-even point, it's going to do a lot better. So what I do is I look at, all right, what is my break-even point, which is just, your profit margin, what you sell it for minus what it costs you. That's your break-even point. And let's say, for example, I have a $100 break-even point, and I don't want to spend more than half of that break-even point without getting any add to carts or anything, because then it's most likely not going to get a sale. I don't want to keep wasting any money. So what I do, instead of doing the people say $5 a day budget, $10 a day, $20 a day, what I do is I look at, all right, I have a $100 break-even point, and I want to be able to track this data over the next couple of days and see what happens. So what I would do is set it at a $20 per day budget, because what it's doing is it's going to have to go through about 2 to 3 days worth of ad spend to be able to see if it's something that's actually going to be profitable or if it's going to be something that's not going to make me any sales at all. And by using this method, it's going to allow for the time for Facebook to optimize, but at the same time, you're not rushing anything, you're not making anything slow by dragging it out. If I was doing $5 a day budgets, it would take forever to see any purchases. But at the same time, you could be like, oh, I have a $100 break-even point, I'm going to do $100 a day. But when you try and force things and rush it that much, then Facebook doesn't have time to optimize and really see what it's doing. And then you end up in the corner with $100 lost because you spent it so fast just to reach that budget instead of allowing it to expand over the next 2 to 3 days, which is what I always aim for, which is why this is a 5-day specific strategy, which we'll get into the timing in a second. But I always do strategized budgets now when I'm testing a product in a campaign. And now the most important part of this that I see that a lot of people don't utilize and take advantage of is using different ad creatives. Now, I used to think that ad creatives didn't really mean anything. I mean, I know they mean something, but I used to think that you could just test one and see if the product would make sales and it'll be good. But now I've been testing multiple creatives under each ad set, and it's done very, very well. I've been split testing. So what I do is under each interest or each ad set, what I do is I have 2 creatives, 1 video and 1 image, because sometimes it's hard to decide if you should try video or an image. So I'm like, all right, why not try both? So let's say I have one specific ad set, and if I click on that ad set and I go to the actual ad level, it's not just gonna be 1 video or 1 image, it's gonna be 2. And what's going to happen now is Facebook is going to spend, let's say you have a $20 per day budget for that ad set. It's going to split that money between these 2 creatives. Now, it's not going to spend evenly. It's not going to spend 10 and 10. It's going to spend on whatever's optimizing best. And what this is going to allow you to do is track the data and see the metrics of which one is performing best. Because I actually had a product with one of the students, the high ticket product student that I showed at the beginning of this video. We actually started off just with a video, and the video was amazing. I was like, this is going to do great. But I was like, the split test, we'll do an image and a video. And the image, pretty basic, literally took no time to make. ended up doing a million times better. Actually, all the sales when we were testing came from that image, and now all the ads we're using are based upon images, and we literally just got started with that product. So we're gonna scale it up pretty soon. I'll have to keep you guys updated with that story. But I think that testing ad creatives is a big part of succeeding within Facebook ads today in 2019. So these are ads that are created, not stolen. We're using videos and images off of sharing resources, off of asking the supplier for videos, off of going on YouTube and seeing what people have, and seeing if they allow us to use their content, etc. And through this, you're being more authentic and you're standing out. You're unique because it's not just an ad that everybody else is using, as well as when you're testing two different ad creatives that you make yourself, it's gonna allow for more and more opportunities and possibilities. Because if this product that I tested with this student recently, if we tested it with just a video and it didn't do well, then we'd be like, all right, on to the next product. But when we tested the image and the video, we're able to see that, all right, all the purchases came from the images, so that's what we're gonna focus on, and we're gonna turn off the videos. So why does the Spark strategy actually work? Why is this worth using compared to the original product testing strategy? And it's simple. One, you're paying for potential magnet traffic. Now, the reason why I call it potential magnet traffic is because you're getting traffic, link clicks, add to carts, whatever, from people that are more optimized to actually buy. And these people are gonna get attracted to you like a magnet. The more they see you, the more they're gonna, start engaging with your brand, clicking on stuff. Maybe the first time they see your ad, they're gonna scroll through it, but as the time goes on and they see you more and more, maybe they'll actually click on something and eventually it's gonna be a magnet and you take them all the way to the purchase phase through retargeting. Until you're targeting buying-oriented demographics instead of just random targeting with super broad interest. When you're targeting people that are actually oriented towards buying, then you're gonna have a lot better chance of actually making sales, obviously. And a lot of people ask me, should I narrow down by engaged shoppers, whatever? And my answer is no. I never do that just because the way Facebook categorizes engaged shoppers is based on people that have bought from Facebook ads before or on the Facebook marketplace. But the thing is, you never know when someone's gonna become an engaged shopper. You never know when someone that's just using Facebook actually buys from an ad on the first time. So I don't really wanna miss out on that specific opportunity. So I don't use engaged shoppers. Plus, I've split tested it half and half, and I've really never seen too big of a difference, but still, I'd rather not, miss out on a potential sale or multiple sales by narrowing down by engaged shoppers. And three, you're split testing refresh creatives with Spark. That's why I call this Spark strategy, because of the ad creatives, because using multiple ad creatives is something so many people don't do at all. But whenever you're using refresh creatives, it's gonna, spark more interest. More people are gonna see it and think something different of it every time compared to seeing the same ad over and over of everybody selling the same product, the same ad all over the same place, which is not how you're gonna be able to succeed and get from that mark of 0 to X amount per day, whatever you want to reach. So now let's actually get into, the timing of it and how everything sort of works and comes together. So this is what I do. I make timing-based decisions. So this is how it works sort of as the 5-day process. Now this process can be, ramped up to about 3 days. You could do the same thing, even 2 days, but I recommend moving slow and steady. That's what I do with myself, with my students, just because I would rather stay profitable and move slow than move fast and lose a bunch of money. So day one, I just go ahead and launch the campaign, the Spark strategy. I check for sales. All right, if there's no sales, whatever, usually it doesn't spend that much because the way we strategize the budget, it's gonna have to go through 2 to 3 days to be able to really see what it's gonna be doing. And then on day two, I check the creative indicators. So the indicators I look for the ad creatives is the cost per link click, the CPM, and looking for add to carts and checkouts initiated, and see which of those indicators are coming from which creative. Is it the video, the image, which one is doing better? I don't turn anything off yet, but I just like to see and keep note of what's going on within these specific ad sets and the creatives. And then day three is when I turn off the unprofitable ad sets. So like I said, if it's spent over half of the break-even point and it hasn't had any add to carts or checkouts initiated or even any purchases, then turn it off. It's not worth spending any more money because it's most likely not going to be able to get you a sale. And now day four is the day when I usually cut off the unprofitable creative. So usually what happens is it's been 3 days now and you've gotten some sales, you've seen which ad sets are working and which creatives are working, and now it's time to minimize that risk by turning off the creatives that are not working for you. And now what you're gonna be left over with is several ad sets that are interest-based with a strategy-based budget, and you're gonna be making consistent sales profitably. So I start with 10 ad sets, and then usually I'll have 2 to 3 profitable ad sets that maintain consistency. And then what I'll do after those keep going, I don't touch them, never touch something that's profitable, just let it keep running how it is to see if it'll maintain it. But what I do on day 5, after I turn off those unprofitable creatives, is I go ahead and just break down and duplicate. So let's say, for example, I have 3 interest ad sets that are doing very, very well. So I'll break it down. I'll look at, all right, what ages are clicking on the link the most, which ages are buying, what genders and what placement are these people actually coming from. So then what I'll do is I'll duplicate those 3 ad sets with the same budget. I don't mess with the budget, but instead of the broad targeting, I'll actually just be targeting, all right, I'm targeting men only 45 and up, or whatever the specific demographic is. And if all the traffic and sales and stuff are coming from, let's say, Facebook feed, then I'm going to turn off all the other placements except for Facebook feed. Now, just to answer some quick questions here, when I'm using placements for my ads for testing campaigns, I do Facebook feed and Instagram feed, mobile and desktop. I do not select the Wi-Fi only checkbox. And also, when people ask me about location, nowadays I am just targeting the United States when I test products. I've been able to see a lot better results that way than doing worldwide and excluding the different countries. But I like to move into different countries slowly but surely. Like I said, all my strategies now that I've been utilizing have been profitable. Well, not all of them, obviously, but the ones that have been profitable have been consistent, and that's my goal. Consistent, slow, and steady rather than going super fast. Obviously, it would be great to move super fast and make a bunch of money, but the way Facebook works, it just, it doesn't work that way. You're going to lose money quicker than you're making your money, and then you're going negative, which you don't want to happen. So, what's next? What do you do after all this? It's been 5 days. You know you have some profitable ad sets. You already broken them down and duplicated, and you're waiting for more sales, and you're really just ready to take things to the next level and start making more and more money and scaling up. So what's next? You have 2 days to decide what's next, all right? I'm giving you this opportunity right now. You have 2 days to decide. And what I want you to make the decision on is this. What if you had the chance every single week to get on a call with me, myself, Tanner Planis, for 30 minutes for one-on-one mentorship where we go through your story, your ads, whatever, and we really just walk through the process of getting you from point A to point B or point Y to point Z? What if you had that opportunity? I want to give you that opportunity because what I do every single week in my private next generation e-commerce group community, I choose 2 active users within the group to call for 30 minutes for a free strategy call, one-on-one mentorship, completely free for all current students within next generation e-commerce. And if you don't know what next generation e-commerce is, it is my full program and community where we have 80 plus guided training videos with multiple guest speakers that I've flown in. A lot of people don't know. I've actually, flew people in from around the country as well as from other countries to teach about what they do because I'm not perfect. I'm not a guru. I know a little bit about everything and I can put all the pieces of the puzzle together, but when it comes down to specific things like, for example, email marketing, I'm not the best at email marketing because I pay people to do it. So what I did, I got the person that I pay to do my emails to actually show how he does it specifically and setting up all the flows and campaigns in the same way with Facebook ads and everything else. There's a ton of new content, as you can see, over 80 videos. And when you join Next Generation E-commerce, you get access to all the videos, of course. You get access to my Instagram close friends stories where I post, my stories, different things here and there, different private tips, the private community group, weekly, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. We hop on a live stream where I answer all the questions and show different things, whether it's scaling strategies, retargeting, fulfillment, or even more. And the last thing that I've been doing recently that's been super fun is choosing active users within our Facebook group to call 2 people a week. We're doing free calls, one-on-one mentorship with myself. So people that are active, sharing their failures, successes, what they've learned, what they wish they did, or anything in general. I respond, I answer all the questions, and really it's just an awesome community to be a part of. And my special offer here, I forgot to mention it, is use code consistency for 30% off. There's gonna be a link in the top of the description where you can go to the page to buy it, and you can use this coupon code, press add coupon, type in consistency, and you'll get 30% off. And the reason why I'm doing 30% off is because this is the 30th day in a row that I've posted on YouTube. So I wanna celebrate a little bit, give back to you guys, for those of you that actually want to get to the next level, because this is more of a family for me. This is not just, all right, I'm making money off the course. I actually put way more time and effort where I would value my time that I'm technically losing money on this course. But what I'm doing is seeing more and more student success, which is what I'm focusing on this year because that's my goal. $10 million in student sales this year alone. That's why I'm doing these free weekly calls. When I see people that are active in the group, whether they're struggling or they need help scaling, I'm like, all right, these people are active. They're actually working towards a goal and I want to help them get there. So, all right, you won. I just announced the 2 winners for this week and we're going to be hopping on 30-minute calls, helping them with whatever they need help with. So if you want to join Next Generation E-commerce, use code consistency, 30% off. You have 48 hours to do so. And don't ask me for a better coupon code because if you can't afford it, I don't want you to join. And don't take that personal. Don't take that as me being arrogant or anything like that. The reason why I don't want people to join if they can't really afford it and they really just ask me for a better discount is because I don't want you to join unless you have additional money for ad spend. If you have only $300 and you spend $300 on the course, I don't want that to be the case. I want you to have at least $500 or more in ad spend, or at least some kind of current income where you know you're going to have that much for ad spend, because I want you to have the ability to see what we're doing, learn what we're doing, and then actually utilize what we're doing. And you're going to need some capital for that. You know, that's just how it is. This is a business. This is not just a free game where you can just play and do whatever you want. You know, this is an actual business where you have to put in actual effort to see actual results. So there you have it. You have 48 hours to join with that specific coupon code. There'll be a link in the top of the description. But if you can't afford it and you want some kind of alternative, you can also go to the description and check that out. The free training, 5-day free training is pretty awesome. Go ahead and check it out if you want to. Even if you buy the course, you can watch that too. But the course content is definitely a billion times better than that free training. But yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. You learned something. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them below. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.